Hello and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk a bit about EX era reverses and how things are changing for them and have changed for them in the last probably 6 to 12 months. But firstly, I want to show off a new purchase I have here. So I'm currently working on EX Dragon, the set, which is a bit of a ambitious goal. But I managed to get this Resilia. It's beautiful Atsuko Nishida artwork. I love the depth of the holo. It's really cool. And this was like a really good buy, I think, because as you can see, nice condition, probably near mint. And it was listed for about 26 Australian dollars, I think. And I offered $17.50 and they accepted. So I'm still missing the reverse for this particular card. I'm still missing a lot for EX Dragon, but I've got a few of the more expensive ones. And yeah, working slowly away at that particular goal. But this video, so EX era reverses are something really interesting to me. And I remember as a kid, I wasn't really a huge fan of these. I think mostly because it was extra binder space. Like it was, if you got the same card twice, you put it twice in your binder. Binder space was a real premium for me when I was a kid because I didn't have much storage capacity. But as an adult, I've come to appreciate these a lot more. And I think just the rarity of some of these cards, to find them in nice condition, is finally starting to catch on. So we've seen some huge PSA 10 sales in particular. I think there was like a Hitmon top, which sold for like 5.8 thousand in the stamped reverse. There was like a Dark Ampharos today, I think it was like 6.2 in a PSA 10. And there is a bit of nuance. Like it does depend a lot on the Pokemon, the individual set. So for EX era, they changed up a lot. So this particular Mudkip is from EX Emerald. And so you can see this particular Pokeball pattern was unique to EX Emerald. So there was a few different ones early on. I think EX Deoxys. There was like the energy symbols that continued for a few. EX Emerald has the Pokeballs in the background. Unseen Forces, I think, is the coolest one for me, that has like the actual Pokeball renders you can see in the background. That's a really cool one. And then some of them are like the more flat backgrounds, but they're really interesting. And this is an era where not many were printed, especially some sets like these middle sort of the era sets, early middle, like the EX Emerald. The print runs were just really low. And then when you combine the fact that there's not many in good condition remaining, the prices on these have just jumped. And so this Mudkip here, this was actually, so back when I bought this, it was an insane deal. I remember I was browsing eBay and I saw this listed for $5 Australian, so about $3 US. And I thought, that can't be right. Quickly checked, purchased it. At the time, they were going for about $50 Australian. So basically, I got this 10% market, and I was not convinced at all that it was actually going to arrive, but it did. And so I think they must have just listed it at the normal raw non-reverse holo price. So $5 for a $50 card, already an insane deal. But over the last year, they've climbed and climbed. And currently, to pick this card up would be 250 Australian dollars on eBay. I did see one sold recently in the US as well for like 320 Australian dollars, which it was probably like a perfect example. This particular copy it's pretty close, but I think there's some edge wear on the bottom here, yeah. But I'm not someone who cares about that. To me, this is like a beautiful near mint card. But it's really it's interesting how the way these sort of cards are perceived can change over time. From this just being a bulk pull back in the day, no one really cared that much, to now becoming like a special card in their own right, where these are something people really chase after. Like for a species collector or someone like that, these can be like the holy grail in their collection. And again, it comes down to scarcity. So that's the Mudkip, and I have a few others. I have some of them from my childhood collection that I pulled, but most of them have come from this one particular collection that I bought. So I'm not going to take them all out the top loaders because that would take too long, but there was probably about 2 years ago now, I guess, there was a lot that came up for a bunch of these, and I managed to win the auction, and my cost basis was like, I think 17 Australian dollars each, and then I sold one of the biggest cards back, which I probably missed out on a lot from that card in particular because it was the Rayquaza from Holon Phantoms reverse. But most of the rest I kept, and this Ninetales in particular is one of, I think, the most beautiful cards from the whole era. It's that moon in the background, the art is so nice. It's one of those cards I just feel blessed to have in my collection. Just to be able to appreciate the artwork, the stamped reverse, the gold text for the name. I think it's just the holos have that gold text there. So any card that was originally a holo retains that. It's just a beautiful piece of artwork. And so I have a bunch of other ones. Got the Meganium. The condition of these as well is just beautiful, beautiful near mint condition. The Latios. Latias. Another really nice card. Targetic. This one's unusual because the stamp is on the left here. I guess because I didn't want to obscure the face, but I think almost all the other ones I have are on the right. Got Vileplume, almost looking like a bit of a dark Vileplume. The theme of these, the holo in the background, is really cool as well. Cradily. These do print lines are sort of a bit notorious. You can see one there, and then on the bottom here. Melodic, probably another big hitting card. That Fire Melodic. The Delta Species concept is really cool. Pinsir. Big fan of this artwork as well. And then we've got a couple of Deoxys to round it out. And so yeah, these cards have just, over the last year or so, they've gone from, you know, cool cards, things no one was really thinking about, to now suddenly Grail level pieces. Similar to what I guess Legendary Collection reverses did a number of years ago now, where they went from originally cards that everyone hated, that it's a slightly obnoxious reverse holo firework pattern that now is just so unique and such an interesting card. And these have sort of done a similar thing, from unappreciated to now something that people really are after. And to find them in near mint condition is just really rare. It was an underprinted era. A lot of people would stop collecting. It was still, 10 years before Pokemon would really come back into force again. And they're just something special. So that's it for me today. Give me your thoughts on Legendary Collection, well, not Legendary Collection, EX era reverse holos. Do you have any? What are your opinions on them? What's your favorite one? And that's it. Thanks for watching.